In today's episode, Stacy asks, how do I become a more influential personality on Instagram? I don't want to go the automated route, but I don't have much of an audience. My goal is to be a food influencer. All right. As with all things, we'll follow a simple strategy model here: strategy, tactics, execution. First, let's talk about your strategy, your overall Instagram strategy or social media strategy, which is, are you good at something? So if you want to be a food influencer, are you really good at something within food, like baking or frying or Japanese cuisine or low calorie or paleo or whatever? You get the idea. Are you really good at something? And second, does the world value what you're really good at? And that's the hard part. The intersection between the two, what the world values, what you're good at, how much overlap is there? If you're really good at making, for example, really expensive Russian caviar dishes, there's some value to that. The world, a very small part of the world does value that very highly, but for the most part, for building an audience, it's not the best segment to go after. On the other hand, you know, being a fast food connoisseur, the world doesn't really value that, even if you're really good at it. So those two questions are really important. Does the world value what you're good at, and are you really good at something? You need to be able to explain that concisely in 2 sentences, just 2 sentences, what you're good at and what is valuable to your audience. Don't worry about it on the sponsor side, on you're looking for sponsors and stuff like that. That's going to take care of itself, because all media companies want right now is basically a large, highly engaged audience. Their analytics are so far behind that things like 1 million Instagram followers still do matter. And to be perfectly frank, 1 million followers of anything is by definition somewhat influential. But in the media world, for influence purposes, a lot of people are buying audience, just like any other advertising platform. So your value in 2 sentences. For example, my company, Trust Insights. We are a data science consulting firm for marketers. We help marketers make more money with their data. 2 sentences, pretty obvious what we do. You need to do the same with whatever it is that you do with food and influence. Now, going from strategy to tactics, first question, is Instagram the right platform for you? It probably is, because it's a very consumer angle, and Instagram is very much the pulse of the consumer these days, but it may not be the only platform. YouTube, for example, may be a great platform for you. Pinterest may be a great platform for you. So do some research, make sure that Instagram is the right platform choice. The second thing you want to do is look at a content production model. And that model is, the one I think makes the most sense here is YouTube's model, which is Hero Hub Help, which is infrequent big ideas, the hero ideas, once a quarter, hub ideas, which are more campaign level ideas. They're hub, and they're once a month or so. And then help, lots and lots of help content. How do you do this thing? How do you make this thing? How's this? What kind of ingredients do you look for? What's the best dish for this? And so on and so forth. Focus on one of those segments. Generally speaking, when it comes to appealing to a broad market, the help segment is the lowest cost to produce, and also generally the easiest one to attract people, because by putting out helpful information, you are automatically proving your expertise. So there is that aspect. Hero Hub Help also breaks down into why, what, how. Why is something important? What is the thing? How does the thing work? And if you're talking about, again, something very specific like low budget paleo, would be an example. Paleo is something people are very interested in. Can you do it on a very small budget? Then all the how content is like, how do you find this? How do you find this kind of produce? How do you find this kind of protein, etc., affordably? Finally, is the execution phases, and this is where everybody falls down. You're going to need 3 things. Number one, you're going to need a heck of a lot of time to do this. Probably, if you're doing this as your side hustle, expect to spend between the time after dinner and the time when you go to bed to be doing nothing but this. So 3-4 hours a day. For example, I usually stop working at the end of the day around 4:30 p.m. Make dinner, have dinner with my family, get everyone settled in for the evening around 7 o'clock. From 7 to 10 is when I work on what used to be my side hustle, now is my main business. And so you're going to need to invest that time. You're going to need to invest in some monitoring software. You're going to need software for Instagram overall, because Instagram's built-in analytics are terrible. For this application, for where you are, I would suggest looking at a tool like Brand24, because it is affordable and it allows you to monitor Instagram for very specific hashtags. And you also obviously want to spend a lot of time on Instagram. At your current scale, the native Instagram app is good enough, right? Later on, you may want to look at something like a tool like AgriPulse, for example. But for now, where you are is fine. You'll want to be monitoring Instagram food hashtags. As many as you can conceivably. You'll get your phone, so start typing in, food porn, all these different hashtags, any specific food ingredients or diets, keto, paleo, etc. And what you need to do is use that data of what people are posting on the app, and the intersection between that data and what you're good at, to find new angles and be creating content. A lot of it. Easily 10, 15, 20 posts a day if you can manage that frequency, and then interacting and engaging with as many other people that are using that hashtag on a daily basis. So following people like crazy. No automation on that, because their algorithm's gotten real good about detecting the bots. So literally just have the native app in your hand and just start following people one by one. Do 25 a day. Think about, when it comes to building your audience, don't go after the big dogs, because it's unlikely that you're going to get much engagement with people with 1 million followers. Do the red paperclip route, which is, if you have 100 followers, start engaging with people who have 101 followers. Start following people who have 101 followers. Then when you have 101 followers, start with people who have 102. So that you are building a cohort of peers rather than trying to reach up to people who frankly are out of reach. If you've got 1,000 followers, great. Go to someone who has 1,001 followers, and look for different ways to do collaborations, do combination things, experiment with the different formats. IGTV, experiment with it, see if it works for you. Stories, you're going to spend a lot of time on stories. You may want to look at some story creation software. At the very least, just have a good photo editor. I use Camera Plus version 2 on my iPhone for that. And I should disclose, I am not an Instagram influencer. I've only got 2,000 followers, and it's not my platform of focus. I focus on Twitter and LinkedIn, because that's where my audience is. Your audience, being a food audience, is going to be in different places, and I instinctively believe, I don't have the data on it, but I instinctively believe that Instagram is the right choice. So, but it's going to be all about monitoring, engagement, creation. Monitor the things that are popular, engage with those things, create your own stuff to go along with those things, and expect to spend 3 hours a day doing this for a couple of years. So no easy answers, but having a framework and having processes and a repeatable method will eventually get you to that point where you can get to 10,000 followers or so, especially if you're doing something really valuable and hot. So give that a try, Stacy. As always, if you have questions, please leave them in the comments. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel and the newsletter. I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Want help solving your company's data, analytics, and digital marketing problems? Visit trustinsights.ai today and let us know how we can help you.